obviously, you've done incredibly well for yourself, like earned the success you have and everything, but you still buy props. And everybody always says like, oh, if you have the personal account, stop trading props.
Props are just a great risk to reward. Like, that's just the truth of it. The pure amount of money you can make surpasses any other revenue stream that you might have. The number one thing I learned is that most people aren't there for the Lamborghinis or for the crazy spending, the mansions, all that. That's not what these people are looking for. These are working class people who are hoping to replace their working class job with a skill that they've learned. Quants, data, we're going to give them performance coaches, psychology. If a firm is not offering some way, shape, or form that path, they're not really a firm. They're just a funding company. Risking really large sums of your own personal money on a frequent basis is stressful.
Yeah.
Like, it's really stressful.
It sucks.
I have gray hairs up here, and I'm 29 years old, and the reason those hairs are gray is because
All right, what's going on, my Alpha family? I have a special guest here today. I'm here with my man Jake, aka Rake Trades. But we're here in London, guys. We're spending some time together. We've got a really exciting event tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, Jake has become a good friend over the last year. Incredible trader, better person. Really excited to have you here, man.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited. When this whole thing started to become an idea, you and I had the conversation about London, and you were just like, we got to make something happen. And I'm so glad we did. This is going to be a really, really fun weekend. I'm looking forward to it, bro. So thank you for having me. This is an awesome setup. I'm excited to be here, and it's going to be a fun time.
It'll be great. We're headed to the Prime office right after this, get you a walkthrough and everything. Unfortunately, James, our director, he is in Spain with the family, so we'll miss him, but you get to meet some other great guys over there. You get to meet Sam, Freddie, our quant, Sebastian, and then Julian has been on some different trading floors over the last 30 years with James and stuff. I think you'll definitely enjoy getting to pick his brain a little bit too, which would be cool.
I've never seen a trading floor in person, so this is a really cool experience for me because it's like something. Ever since I got into trading, that's one of the dreams you hope to see one day, is like a real, original, genuine trading floor. And I've never seen one in person, so, which is crazy to say, and I can't wait. I'm really excited.
Yeah, especially in New York, I'm sure. Hopefully this is like the first of many, because then in New York, right? I mean, James is very connected all over the world, so like, who knows, he can be like, oh yeah, Jake's a good guy. He came by our London office. Let him into the New York one. Let him go check that out. That's, of course, like our kind of next step too, right? We're only what, 5 months into Prime existing. The next step would be a U.S. office at some point, which I know you and I talked about the same ambitions and everything. I know I'm on the West Coast, you're on the East Coast, but I grew up on the East Coast, so like I would like it to be on the East Coast if we're being honest. If we're being honest. But yeah, of course, I think like, hey, we want you involved in whatever capacity you want to be with Alpha. I know you've been a friend to the brand so far, but I think you and I both agree there's a lot more we can be doing here, and we will.
Absolutely, and I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. Again, just even having you guys' help putting on this London event is wouldn't have been able to do it without you. So I'm extremely excited. I actually met someone yesterday who came up to me and said hi, and they're coming to the event on Saturday.
Awesome.
And they were so excited. So it's going to be really special. I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be a good time, man. There's a lot more to come.
Love that. How much of your audience do you think is in London? How have you gotten like connected with London? Right, because I know you're traveling everywhere, you go wherever, but like it seems like you have a decent audience here in London in particular. How did that come about?
I don't really know how exactly. I started to post that I was doing these meetups around the world, and really it started with New York. And the second one on the list after New York, I got a lot of responses that are, when are you coming to London? Awesome. When are you coming to London? And I was like, I didn't know that there was that many of you in London. I also didn't realize London from New York is only like it's essentially the same thing as going back to California. Like, it's really not that far of a flight. Like, it's as if I'm going to California.
It's 11 hours from me. But
yeah, for you, that's exactly.
That's the first thing the staff says over here and stuff. Because, like, where did you grow up? I'm like, oh, Boston. And they're like, where do you live now? I'm like, San Diego. They're like, how far is that? I'm like, the same flight from Boston to London. That's how far I live from my hometown now. And they're like, what?
Yeah, so that's crazy. That's a long flight. That's a journey. Thank you for being here, sir. But the flight here from New York is so quick. And so I, in the process of planning the events for this summer, London became a really reasonable destination to swing by over there and do a week and kind of experience it a little bit. And I started posting on my Instagram stories, and I ended up getting some responses. And I will say, it's not about how many people responded saying, come to London, but the ones who were saying, come to London, were so passionate about it. They were DMs from years of saying, you got to come to London. You have to come do an event here. You have to come see this place. You would love it. With that sheer passion, I was like, all right, we have to add London to the list. And it started off as an idea, but as soon as I had that idea, we got in touch. And you were like, no.
Yeah, so I feel like you posted it, and I was like,
you're like, dude, if you're...
Yeah, I'll be there. That sounds good.
You're like, I will be there no matter what. And I would love if we could help you. And I was like, this is genius. This would be great. So I don't know. I got to say, probably 5% of the people of my audience is in London, like 5 to 10%.
Notable amount, yeah.
It's a good amount, yeah. And they are passionate and ready to come through. And I can't wait, man. It's going to be a good group. And the venue looks amazing, too. That looks unreal, so I'm hyped.
Be a good spot, yeah. So we're over, this won't get out in time, but anybody that sees it after, we will be over in Waterloo, and it'll be a great time.
Don't worry, you might not be seeing this till after, but we've been talking about it I've been talking about my stories for weeks. I hope that if you're in London, you know we're doing this. And I'm really excited. Yeah,
it'll be great. Most of your London audience have they always been options traders, or more when you got into futures is kind of when you noticed them kind of piling in?
More with futures. Cool. I think that London, it's so funny, I was just talking about this the other day with one of my teammates, but the world sessions around the world, I think really lend themselves to futures traders as opposed to options traders. So the fact that we're in London and there's London session, one of the few major sessions in the world, I think naturally lends itself to seeing more futures traders out here. And so I expect tomorrow at the event that it will be mostly futures traders or Forex traders and more currency traders, mostly trading indices or currencies, right? Yeah. Less trading individual US stocks, which I think makes sense. And I think that's fun because that's a side that this last year I've really dove it into more. I've started trading prop firms. I've started to take advantage of some of the opportunities that are out there. And I've started to put a little bit more focus on futures. And so if I am going to meet some of my audience, I would love for it to be people also trading futures, also looking to capitalize on the opportunities with prop firms, looking to take advantage of Alpha's offerings, right? So I'm excited. It's going to be a good group. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I say it all the time, but like, there's no better time to be a retail trader than when we're alive right now.
No.
Like, we've lucked out. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude,
we really have. And you're somebody that's done very well with options, like personal account and stuff, but like, you still trade props. Like, why? Right? Like, I think people need to hear that. You've done incredibly well for yourself, like earned the success you have and everything, but you still buy props. And everybody always says like, oh, if you have the personal account, stop trading props. You kind of graduate out of it, which is cool. Like, that's, if you're able to do that, fantastic. But like, you're an example that you have done that and you still keep coming back to props. Why?
Props are just a great risk to reward. Like, that's just the truth of it. They are a great risk to reward. I almost see it as like there's two different sides of props. There's the initial side, which is where you're aiming to get a good return on what you spent, right? Like, that's just props being a good risk to reward. Then beyond that, I actually had the opportunity this year to trade live with a variety of firms. At the moment, I'm not. And I know it's something that we're excited to talk about too. And I'm really excited to see the prime offices for everything that come off from that. But the live environment of a prop firm, really, once I think that model continues to get more and more refined, it has so many benefits to traders that I think they don't know about. And I think they don't like understand, right? And so if you go into the real world of like investment firms or real traditional prop firms, brick and mortar prop firms, the traders that are there really get taken care of by the company / the risk team / they put their traders in a position to succeed, right? And as retail traders, that's not an opportunity that we typically have access to. And because it's quite frankly a really hard world to break into. Now, with the new evolution of prop firms and eventually the live offerings and the ideas of that partnership between trader and live, it's really unique and it benefits the trader a lot more than people think about. Like, big investment firms, big trading firms for years, they have been investing into the risk teams and the psychology behind their traders. Those are tools that retail traders don't have. They don't have someone watching the risk. They don't have someone helping them with their psychology. They don't have performance coaches checking in on them.
Even the data. Right?
No, even the data.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I talked about Sebastian, our quant. You know what I mean? Like, he's accessible to all of our prime traders. It's like, I don't know how much you would have to pay Sebastian to get that. Probably to get like a report that he does for our prime traders for free. I would guess somewhere between $2,000 to $3,000 for like a single report.
Minimum, right? Yeah. Minimum. And that would be for one report when you'd be hoping to get data frequently, right? And So there's so many tools that I think that if you are hoping to scale to bigger and bigger numbers one day, like I do have those goals, I do have those dreams. I think it's a lot easier if you have the environment that can help kind of put you in a position to succeed. I think that one thing that's not talked about a lot is as you scale as a personal trader, it just becomes more emotionally difficult. Like risking really large sums of your own personal money on a frequent basis is stressful.
Yeah.
Like it's really stressful.
It
like
sucks.
I have gray hairs up here and I'm 29 years old. And the reason those hairs are gray is because I've
Traded.
spent a significant amount of time, not just traded, but risking my own money. Like, so it's funny because you started off this question. Sorry, I rant on answers sometimes, but
no, it's doing great.
You started off by asking or mentioning that it's the best time to be a retail trader. And I couldn't agree with that more because even when you and I were getting into it 5, 6, 7 years ago, we didn't have the opportunities that are here now.
Right.
Like back when I was first trading prop firms, there was one prop firm, one offering, and it was like 3 steps. You got lucky. It was crazy. And now it's a retail trader's dream where you have the opportunity to choose a firm that you love and one that offers you what you want, right? And there's a competitive marketplace going on, which just benefits the users in the end, right? As opposed to before, it felt like there was a monopoly on one prop firm, one offering, and mostly it wasn't really even a thing. Like you traded personal funds when you started. I traded personal funds. Prop firms weren't really a thing. And now we're in this day and age where we have incredible opportunities. We're really lucky. We're really very lucky. And traders who are getting started now should feel very lucky.
I like what you said about like the live program continuing to develop because like, we have a very disruptive model compared to the rest of the space because like we are trying to develop something real, like you were talking about. And the important piece is scaling, right? Because right now, the way we see live programs run, they basically just issue a personal account and keep 10%.
Yes.
Which that's what people are like, oh, the 90-10 is like, that's great for the trader. Of course, 90-10 is always great. But when it comes to live funds, it's like, no, we're trying to find talent and then scale together.
Yes.
Like, we make money, you make more, but we make a lot of money too. That's the whole point of traditional firms, and that's what needs to continue to grow and stuff in the space. If I really don't like the word firms unless you have a live system like us, genuinely, because we are a real firm, right? Like I've just talked about Sebastian and Julian and James. Like these are guys that have worked at Merrick's, one of the largest trading floors in the world. So yes, they work for a firm. I don't love sim evaluation companies calling themselves firms when their live program is just issuing a personal account and they don't connect with you at all. You have no ecosystem, anything. So I know some people kind of look at our model and they're kind of taken back at first, but like more serious traders like yourself are like, hell yeah, like I start with 10 grand. We already have people on $50,000 accounts now. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how it's supposed to go. Show us you're talented. We'll continue to scale you. That's the thing that's like some of these live accounts is like, you know, you'll start with 30 grand and they'll never scale past that, right? You will make more, but the firm, the firm doesn't give you any more funds. That's what a firm is supposed to do. It's supposed to give you more funds when you succeed. Like come in, prove yourself, and we'll continue to make sure like, hey,
it's supposed to be a partnership, right? It's supposed to be a partnership where the trader is supported, and ultimately that support that you provide to the trader makes you money, right? Like that is the general idea. And I think it's really fascinating because from a firm's perspective, if you can actually manage to find, 10 or 20 incredible traders, the pure amount of money you can make off of funding them with millions of dollars in trading capital or hundreds of thousands of dollars in trading capital surpasses any other revenue stream that you might have, and right? That's the goal.
That's
right?
like the dream. That's what we want.
Well, that's the dream, is to find and be like, okay, it might only be 20 traders, but hey, these 20 are the best of the best.
Stars,
and we are going to provide them with more funds once they continue to make more money. We're going to provide them with the best resources that they have available that are out there in the market. We're going to find quants, data. We're going to give them performance coaches, psychology, everything along those lines to ultimately make a better trader, which will ultimately yield the company more money. That's a model I believe in, right? And that's a model since the minute you and I first talked, I was very fascinated by that. And I think it's an accurate way to phrase it. If a firm is not offering some way, shape, or form that path, they're not really a firm. They're just a funding company.
They issue personal accounts and then say, keep 90-10.
Yep.
We'll hear from you when you request payout.
Yep.
Like that's what I just say. It's just a stop loss for the firm. It's not a real live program, you know? And I get it. It needs to exist. Like, believe me, sustainability for the industry and everything. I get it. But that's what I mean. Like, people kind of look at the 60-40 right off the bat. And they're like, what? And I was like, the guys in the prime office hate hearing 60-40.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? They're on like 15%. That's the typical starting is 10 to 15. And yeah, people just don't want to admit that or hear that.
In the beginning, from what I've heard, typically traders have to put up a lot of their own capital. Like in the traditional, the models we've heard of are very spoiled because you hear
no better time to be a retail trader.
Yeah,
right? Like,
because you hear about like 90-10 splits, and you hear about all funds being put up by the company. If you were to go into a traditional trading firm and want them to back, you'd have to put up your own funds to start initially, or at least some of them to cover the drawdown. You have to show performance records in order to do that. And then you'd get like a very small percentage of the profit split, dramatically under 50%. Right? Like if you got close to 50%, you'd be one of the best in the business. So it's just interesting because I think the perception of it has been so skewed in sort of what we expect that you forget the incredible opportunity that it is being offered to you right in front of your face, right?
Right. And I think people just, again, they've gotten a little spoiled, which is like, well, I'm a retail trader too. Like, I don't want people to feel like I'm like, work for the props, like talking down. No, like I trade props myself, guys. Like I get it. But the difference is on Prime and stuff, it's like scalability and trying to be a bridge between the traditional world and the sim world, which I think Alpha has positioned themselves since day one, right? Like all of our ownership, one of them owns his own brokerage. The other two are former stockbrokers themselves, like another finance degree. Like they've always tried to be the medium, and we're just kind of finally in that swing of things, which I'm lucky that I kind of walked into the company when it was already in motion. But that was a huge thing for me on why I picked Alpha. You know what I mean? Because I did have other job offerings and stuff in the space. You and I have talked about it. Like we're internet entrepreneurs. Like who know? I know we both went to tech school, had good jobs at one point, right? I have a great job now, but like, you know what I mean? Like good, very different than what we careers, right? For me, I was like, if I'm going to make a 30-year career out of this, it needs to be getting into some sort of bridge to the traditional world. And Alpha, thankfully, like provided me that opportunity, and obviously provides it to our traders. But that's kind of, I was like, trading is great. It's really fun. I don't see myself doing it when I'm like 50. And I have kids, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I need to develop some kind of traditional career, right? And that's really why Alpha called to me the most. And believe me, I know we miss out on some customers and traders because like they don't want to do that. They just want to trade part-time, trade sim forever. That's cool. Like you earn that right. You earn that choice. That's okay. But I generally think for anybody that is like, I kind of think finance and trading is the right call for me. There's no one else like Alpha opening the doors for people like that. And that's why, that's why I ended up at Alpha, was just like, hey, we're opening doors not only for me, but for others too. Like that's what I think prop firms are supposed to be about,
100%. You're giving an opportunity for people who really want to be like the best of the best, right? And they really want to make it fun. Like you said, that's an excellent way to phrase it, the bridge between the sim world and the traditional world. Because like I mentioned, I look at props and I see two different distinct stages. There's the initial part we said, return on investment. That's where you're in the sim phase, you're looking for what can I get out of what I spent on these challenges, right? But there's a cap on that. There's a limit to that's not sustainable. It's not going to lead you to a trading career, which pushes people into this second phase of, okay, now where do I go with the firm from here, right? And for most of the companies out there, not firms, it ends at that once you get to that part of the relationship because...
there's one out there that says, hey, you're done with evals. Do you want to move to live? And then when you say yes, they never answer the email on moving to live. No names, of course.
No names, of course.
But
never.
You know what I mean? Like I have people show them, they're like, yeah, I said I would move to live. And they never answered my email for 7 months.
Nope. And they don't want you to move to live. They just want you to stop taking sim.
Well, it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. It's not real.
Which is not okay.
It's a fugazi. It's
right.
Out there. which is definitely not okay.
No.
But I feel like that's an example of a company that doesn't even have but even companies that have the offerings, a lot of the times they provide you with no real reason to use them, right? And so even as someone who used some of the offerings earlier this year, eventually it just didn't make sense, right? And the math made more sense to take it all out and trade personal or trade that, especially because there was no incentives structure-wise or scaling-wise. There was no incentives to continue to kind of grow because there just was no incentives in place, right? So that's why I mentioned that I think as these live offerings continue to get more and more refined, right? As they continue to get and offer things that are more specific to traders, what they're actually hoping to get out of them, I think that opens up the second stage of props a lot more, right? And from what you and I have talked about, Alpha's leading the way. Prime is leading the way in that second stage of like, okay, you're moving on from sim. Here's a world in which you can actually grow in a live environment as opposed to it just being a stop loss, right? As opposed to it just being, hey, here's your personal account. We're going to take our 10%. Best of luck. And if you blow the account, honestly, we kind of already thought we planned for that already. And that we already did that math in our head. Yeah, good riddance, and we won't use you again, right? And it's like, well, that doesn't help the trader out there because most of them are coming from an environment where they're used to, you just press reset if you need to. So it's really hard to go from an environment where you're used to just pressing reset to an environment where, oh no, you're not allowed to press reset. You know, you are now fixated to this one size up. So it's hard for traders. It really is. So just out of curiosity, what are some of the like risk? Do you have specific risk parameters for people at Prime? Like what are some of the things for your live trader that you guys offer that would incentivize one to kind of stick around with them?
No, absolutely. Great question. First thing is 10-to-1 margin, right? Okay. So we do have that agreement with our partnered brokerage. So like, it's obviously 10 times more margin you can get on a personal account. Yeah. So like that's number one is like, you'll be able to trade more contracts with us than you would on a personal account. But something I didn't like, I've been live with up in a UF too. I had a $70,000 live account with them and a $3,000 daily loss limit. Yes. So like, again, that scalability, it's not like they gave me more funds to trade with as it performed or anything like that, which we do, right? That's part of the incentive too. Is like if you perform well, we will give you more capital. And there's even like $10,000 is kind of the baseline. We start with most people. We have started some people with 13, 20, 15,000 that have really impressed us. So like that's always an opportunity. That's like we're willing to have that conversation when we onboard you to live. It's like $10,000 is the starting point, right? Like that's the baseline. We need a attractive baseline somewhere, right? Like can't be too small. Like 2,000 can't offer 50,000 live cash right away. Like, I know we just talked about, but like, I think you and I probably both know why the daily loss limit is only $3,000. Yeah. They're funding the margin. Yeah. They're not giving you $70,000. Oh, I actually didn't know that. No, I mean, I to be fair, I hadn't thought about it. That makes sense. That's why
they're just funding the contracts you can use.
You see these $400,000 live accounts with the $3,000 daily loss limit. Yeah. They're funding the margin.
That's fascinating. So I didn't know that. Yeah.
Which I just like, again, we're talking about like supposed to be a live program and developing. Yes. If somebody's earned 400 grand in live capital, great for them. Yeah. It can't be $3,000 daily loss.
No, that's like 0.7%, right? Like it just, the math does not make sense. Even in the most conservative of estimates, like it doesn't make sense. And the one part that I will say that irks me a bit, and I love every company out there that has good intentions with traders. I truly do. A lot of the narrative recently has been around pushing traders live and the environment that's created for them and why that's the best. If that's the narrative, I do believe that traders should be taken care of and should be really like, if the narrative is that live traders have or should be receiving the most care and attention and focus, then I think that they should actually be provided the most care and attention and focus. And it shouldn't be limiting like, hey, you have a $70,000 account, here's a $3,000 daily loss limit that you can't control and adjust the limits on, right? Yes. And so I think that's fascinating because that, even just that customizability is instantly kind of puts you ahead of other live offerings because you can tailor it to the trader itself. Right.
So that daily loss limit, our baseline, again, we are willing to work with like case by case. If somebody really impresses us, we'll expand. What we usually do though is 30% of the account. That's your daily risk. Yeah. Right. So it starts at 3,000, but like I said, we have some people with over $20,000 accounts, they obviously have like 7-8 grand in daily risk now, and that just continues to go. So like if we end up funding you with 100 grand, you would have $30,000 every day to use as your daily risk.
Yeah.
That's consistent baseline, right? I know James has even worked with some people that he's like, hey, I'm going to give you a little bit more, or hey, like let's tighten it up, right? Like, and that's what James is there for, and we trust his expertise, right? 30 years in the traditional space. That is what James is there for, as director of trading at Alpha Prime. He has one-on-one calls with all of our traders to exactly go over that. Be like, hey, I'm putting you at 10,000, get you 30% daily loss limit. Let's see how it goes. You let me know if you want me to tighten you up. I'm glad to do that and stuff. We really just trust James's call there, just because he's seen it and done it more than anyone else, But yeah, I mean, James is an incredible resource, and I know some people in the Prime program really take advantage of that. Some people are just like, oh, he's a stranger, I don't know.
Yeah.
So anybody that is watching this in the Prime program, if you aren't talking with James daily, like you should be, because our most successful traders in the program are the ones that are talking with him every single day, right?
Yeah, I don't think words can explain how powerful it is to have someone help you manage your risk. Like, I don't.
Especially somebody that's, 8-figure experience himself.
No, truly, some of the best of the best. Like, it's not just somebody a friend on Discord that's helping you manage your risk. It's somebody who's a professional to help you manage your risk. And you're like, no matter what stage you're at as a trader, and there's something we were talking about before, I'm currently going through a little bit of a tough stretch. It doesn't matter how far you've made it, so to speak. Trading can be hard, and the swings that you go through can be hard, and it can lead you to make decisions that you would otherwise not make, right? And so having someone back there with experience watching you, just kind of being like, hey, you should not do that, right? Like, you've lost 2 or 3 days in a row. You want to up your risk today. His history tells me that doesn't go well, right? It does not go well when you've had 2 max losing days in a row, and now you want to up your risk on day 3. I can tell you that's not going to go well. But we as individuals don't have the ability to kind of step back out of our own body and say, no, that's a bad idea. No matter how far you've made it as a trader, we are susceptible to those moments where, nope, it is something what feels like outside of our control, and we then make a decision that we feel like we can't control. Having a roadblock there in terms of a human being kind of helping you manage that and control that is invaluable. And it's an interesting question, because if you asked the audience and you just said, for those of you who are on the borderline of profitability or close, keep getting close to payout, then blow the account or something like that, do you think that having someone there to kind of help make sure you follow the risk that you told yourself you would initially would make a difference? The answer would 1000% universally be yes, right? Like, if someone's that close to payout, it's not the mindset that they had before the day started that caused them to make a bad decision. Because before the day started, you were probably like, no, I'm gonna manage my risk well. I'm just gonna aim for whatever I need to get the payout. I'm gonna do it the right way. But it's once you're in the moment, once the market's moving fast, you start making these bad decisions. Have someone there, an actual person, and also on a person that you have to explain yourself to. Like, it's embarrassing if you have, and this is something where if you have someone that you have to explain, like, hey, like, I want to up my risk today. Like, I just lost 2 days in a row. It's embarrassing. And you don't want to ask them to do that, because like, that it's a bad idea, and that they're going to tell you it's quite frankly, it's embarrassing. And I think that we as traders underestimate the power of having someone there to just keep us in control, right? And so I guess that would be my question to the audience members out there is, how much would you pay to have someone be there and help you keep your risk in check? The answer is probably a lot. Like, probably a lot, because you would make so much more in the end. So I just can't speak to the value of that enough. I think it's an incredible asset that you guys offer for live traders, because it's a powerful tool to be able to have somebody block you when you are your own worst enemy, which is how it works as a trader. Yeah, and like, sometimes, believe me, that might be frustrating at times, but again, it's just like, trust. This guy's been in market. I've been in 6 going on 7 years. He's been in market 24 years longer than me. Yeah, I trust it. Right? Like, that's a good feeling too, because it's not like we have, like a junior staff member just hitting lock on your account. It's like, no, like, James is ringing you up, being like, hey man, I've been there. Yeah, but like,
what are you doing?
Yeah,
right?
yep.
Like, yeah, I mean, that's going to happen always. But yeah, like that's the main thing is, again, our serious traders love Prime. And I get why some people kind of knee-jerk reaction. It's like, why would I go live? Like, why 60-40? It's like, you are getting into the real world and we want to see you grow beyond anything Sim can offer you. Obviously, Sim is great for extra income and everything. But again, if you want to take it seriously, there's nowhere better. There really isn't.
And if you want to take it seriously, I can't emphasize enough how much the resources will help, right? Yeah. If you have somebody there helping you keep your risk in check, if you have a quant that's able to help provide you with data, if you have these things that otherwise you just have to pay a lot for. Like, I've hired performance coaches before. I've worked with people before. It's expensive. It's very expensive to have like a mental trading coach. Quite frankly, is very expensive to do as an individual trader, right? And so if instead of paying those expenses out of your pocket, you pay those expenses through the profit split, that makes a lot more sense to me in my eyes than somebody kind of betting. It makes a lot more sense than simply hiring a performance coach for literally sometimes they will cost $4,000 to $5,000 a month to meet with them a few times a week. And then all of a sudden you're paying them out of pocket. What if you don't necessarily make money that month? Then all of a sudden there's a whole cascading effect of where you're losing money. You're also losing money that you spent on a performance coach or an educator, anything like that. Instead, you could be using a profit split, ultimately a lower profit split, but to gain access to resources that will help keep you profitable, right? There's a lot of angles to it that I think that most traders, they get like you said, knee-jerk reaction to the surface level, and then it's hard for them to look past me. Oh, wait, there are actually a lot of incredible benefits for this, like a ton of them.
The other thing that we do differently from other firms, right, is so like they'll take whatever your leftover sim balance is. Some firms it's gone, right? Yes. It's gone. Yes. Others make that the risk on the live account. So we split the risk with the trader, right? So we take five of sim profit. We put up the other 5. That's the starting 10,000.
Yep.
Whatever else is left over, we actually pay in monthly checks. So that's kind of we want that security, right? Just for them, because like, look, trading's hard. Like you just said, it's like what do you do on months you lose, and you're paying a performance coach, right? So like obviously we don't make money when you don't make money, right? And that's part of the game. But the nice thing is our prime traders are getting monthly checks too. Yeah. So it just again it creates that bridge of like traditional traders. Yes, they have to put up their own fun stuff. Most of the time they're on salary. Yeah. Right. So like we're trying to create that feeling of like, hey, if you suck this week, it's okay. Yeah. You're getting paid tomorrow. Like, don't worry. Like that's it. We just wanted to. I don't know. We want people to feel comfortable and treat it like a career. Is the hope.
It's when you mentioned that to me a while back, I was like blown away because I'm like, that's genius. Like, was that your idea? The monthly.
George and I kind of came up with it together because I was like, hey, here's how other firms handle it. Yeah. What can we do? And like,
it's a great incentive, and it helps traders feel valued. It also helps them stay mentally sane because you have a check coming in, and it makes you feel a little bit more comfortable risking money each day. But it shows them that you're there for their long-term success, right? And it incentivizes them to keep the account because as you manage the account and manage the risk and you don't go crazy, you get a paycheck too. Right. And it really is powerful. I can't overstate the value of a paycheck while trading because, again, that means that you're not fully 100% living off of the decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis, which is just hard. It's doable, but it's hard. And so to have the security of a paycheck coming in, especially knowing that it's money you earned from the previous sim environment, but you're actually being paid it as opposed to forfeiting it, which I've done before, and that part's not fun. The forfeiting of profit is not fun. It's I get it. It's part of the game. It's part of what you signed up for, but it's not fun.
It's hidden in the fourth page of the contract. But yeah, it's hidden. It's what you signed up for unknowingly.
Unknowingly signed up for, right. So if you could knowingly sign up and know that was going to be paid out over months in a secure way that provide you security too, it's an incredible offering to have for traders. Absolutely.
And that's what I mean. Everyone that is in Prime loves it for a reason. I know, again, you were like, this is a badass offering. Yeah. I want other people to start to grasp that too.
No, I don't think that people, I think one of the biggest things is just more people being aware of it. That's part of the reason I'm excited to have this conversation. I don't think people are aware of some of the details of Prime, right? Because like you said, sometimes people might have seen 60-40 profit split and a knee-jerk reaction.
They click off.
And it's like, wait. Well, no. Again, understand what you're getting in return for that, right? Which is personalized care. You are getting access to a salary, like things that were never even dreamable before, right? Were never dreamable as a retail trader to have as offerings. Those are things that are now being offered, right?
And we'll pay out whatever, like we do, right? Our payout cap's 15,000, which obviously is like much larger than a lot of others in the industry. But we pay you that on your way over to Prime.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
so like if you have 15 grand on your account, we'll pay you whatever you're due, max payout, right? Up to 15 grand. Then everything else is what goes into the salary. But like you get a $15,000 check. Then you get all this fun stuff after. Like it's just, that's what I mean. Anybody that has made it to Prime, they are just ecstatic. Like, and they should be. Like it's a huge milestone for themselves. But like they're like, oh, this is great. You know what I mean? They're
exactly.
Like, and really fun moment, actually. I've met a few of our live traders and stuff. I take them for lunch whenever I can and whatnot. Really fun moment was one of our traders. He likes remaining anonymous, but he's from the area I grew up in, actually, Massachusetts. He's a full-time plumber and then trades on the side. And his wife, like for the first time, was like, this is like, she was like, I get trading now. Because we pay him a $3,000 a month salary through Prime and stuff. And she was like, oh, you're working with James. Like she sees these daily calls, this personalized stuff. And she's like, oh, this trading stuff's getting really serious. This is really cool. And it was just really fun to hear him tell me that he was like, my wife has always supported me, like always. But she was like, oh my God, you're actually really serious and good at trading. And it was just like really fun to see him light up and talk about that, because he was like, this would have never happened without Prime. So like that was such just like a proud moment and really fun to hear. Because obviously, I mean, if he's talked about maybe trading full time, maybe continue to do his business, right? But he was like, it'd be nice to trade full time. And he was like, my wife is like first time on board with it because of Prime. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like that's just that's so encouraging to hear that, you know what I mean? Like Prime has legitimately brought happiness into his life and a passion. Like that was so cool. That was something I didn't expect to get to hear in the first 3 months of it existing, you know? So that was really fun.
I think that social media has clouded our perception of what most people want from trading. And I think that for most people, if it could be an extra $3,000 a month salary plus whatever they make that month, which would ultimately kind of replace their 9-to-5 income, that's the goal. It's not, and it was so funny. I've hosted a few of these events, including one where my parents came with me, and that was amazing. But my dad really made an effort to talk to everybody, and we were driving home afterwards, and I asked him his thoughts, and he goes, the number one thing I learned is that most people aren't there for, and there's another place we resonated, they're not there for the Lamborghinis or for the crazy spending, the mansions, all that. That's not what these people are looking for. These are working class people who are hoping to replace their working class job with a skill that they've learned, right? And I think that we forget so often, because nowadays everything on social media is a yacht in your face, or it's been this way, a Lamborghini in your face, and it's hard because in reality, whilst that might be the face of the trading industry, that might be the image that people think of when they think of trading, it's not what most people want. Most people are hardworking people that if they had an opportunity to replace their income and spend about half or a third of the time working that they do, that's what they want.
Right.
That's the goal. And so if you're creating something where it's creating an environment where that helps traders achieve that dream, I think there's nothing more powerful than that, right? And I think that trader, the plumber who's going, that's an incredible example of what people should be aiming to get, right? Which is not the mansions, not the yachts, not anything crazy, just manage to replace or supplement their current income.
So a little bit more freedom, a little bit more happiness.
A little bit more freedom, a little bit more time.
So
a little bit
fun to hear.
Yep.
So fun to hear.
And stability. Again, having the salary of that coming in, which again, money that trader earned from their previous environment, having that stability is probably the main reason why the wife is even open to this idea. Without that $3,000 a month paycheck,
she's like, that's pretty cool.
Guarantee that the wife is of the mindset of, oh no, you need to keep that.
Right.
Like without that secure paycheck. So nobody else is offering that at the moment. And that, I think, is if I was the alpha marketing team, you got to stand on that business where we look at this part that we have. No one else is offering this. We want you to succeed. We want you to keep the account. We want you to last. And we're willing to show you and put our money where our mouth is, right? that's where I think it's to hammer the point home, because that is truly a detail that can change people's life.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. If you watched to this point, it's been a minute. But Jake, thanks so much, man. We're going to have a great weekend. I know we're just getting started. Like I said, we'll go through the walkthrough and everything now. Absolutely fantastic to have you here. Like, just such a genuine good guy, like great energy. I know everybody's going to feel the same on Saturday. I'm really, really glad you're here. But guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for us. Go ahead, follow Rake Trades on Instagram. Do you have Twitter too?
No, just YouTube and Instagram.
Okay. Yeah. YouTube and Instagram. In his Discord too. You guys will see me in there. I stay quiet. I stay quiet, but I am in there. So watch your mouth. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, just an incredible community, incredible guy. Really, really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. Like I said, as soon as you mentioned this was an opportunity of a lifetime. I feel really, really grateful. I'm excited to see the office too. I want the tour. I can't wait. So really, really grateful. Thank you so much, bro. And I can't wait. It's gonna be perfect.